give me a second.
Okay.
Let me just.
Is anything gonna happen there?
It'll work. Just give me a second.
How come yours works?
I got a
Super
hotspot.
secret internet?
I got a hotspot.
Yeah, super secret internet is on the.
All right, you guys are live and they can hear you. You're live and you can hear me, or them. Bang the gavel and let's get going.
All right. Call to order. The New Jersey Open Public Meetings Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and to attend the meetings of public bodies at which time any business affecting their interest is discussed and acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of this Act and Board of Education Policy 0162, the Board of Education of the Borough of Bound has caused notice of this meeting to be posted in the board office and at Bound High School and mailed or faxed to the Courier News, Bound Borough Clerk, South Bound Board of Education, and any person who has requested individual notice and paid the required fee. Can we stand for the pledge? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, first act of business is to appoint the board secretary. It's not an acting, please cross out the acting. I will be the board secretary from this point forward until the end of the year. So at this point in time, we need a motion for board secretary.
Motion. Second.
Motion, Mr. Zupko, seconded by Mr. Beck. Any discussion?
This is for 6:30 on here, but you just said the end of the year. Is it the end of the school year?
No, it'll be December 30th, and then we'll have to redo it in January with the new board.
Okay, we just have to update this.
Yep, that's what we're doing right now.
But on the,
No, he's talking on the agenda.
on the agenda, it listed till June 30th. It says 11/15 to
Oh,
June
then we're
30th.
good, yeah, I'm gonna be June 30th.
Okay,
So we do not have to redo it in January?
No, we shouldn't have to. Again, this is because Ernie is no longer with us, so I have to assume that responsibility.
Okay. We have to roll call
I am working.
that? Okay.
So, Mr. Bell,
Yes.
Ms. Morris,
Yes.
Mr. Simone is absent, Mr. Tomaselli,
Yes.
Mr. Bataleo,
Yes.
Mr. Zupko,
Yes.
Mr. Januzzi.
Yes.
Motion carries. Next item is the approval of Mrs. Morris to the open board seat come January 1, 2022. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Motion, Mr. Tomaselli.
Second.
Second, Mr. Bell. Any questions, comments, concerns?
Just one question. Were there any other individuals who wrote in with interest of occupying the open seat?
No, there was not.
Thank you.
With that, can I get well, I'm doing a roll call. Here we go. I'll get used to this yet. Mr. Bell,
Yes.
Ms. Morris,
Yes.
Mr. Tomaselli,
Absolutely.
Mr. Batalero,
Yes.
Mr. Zupko.
Yes.
Mr. Januzzi.
Yes.
Motion carries. So we'll do our roll call now. Roll call, Mr. Bell,
Here?
Ms. Morris,
Here.
Ms. Musan is absent. I spoke to her today at Mrs. Peters' mother's funeral. Obviously, she had another week this evening she had to attend to, so she could not be here. Mr. Samana, absent. Mr. Tomaselli,
Here.
Mr. Batalero,
Here.
Mr. Zupko. Here. Mr. Fazio was sick. I spoke to her today as well. And then Mr. Januzzi.
Here.
Excellent. Motion carries.
Okay.
President's comments.
Yeah, really quickly. I know that we very quickly moved through the administrator's contract a couple weeks ago. I'm obviously not on the negotiations team, but I want to see if you guys have any updates.
No, I just want to thank the administrators for an excellent, very smooth contract negotiation. Appreciate that. I'm glad we got that, taken care of. And Mr. Paxton, any update? Are you guys ready to start negotiating yet?
I talked to Ms. DeFazio many times regarding this.
Is that a yes or a no?
Yeah, talk to Mr. Fazio, every week it's the same thing, or emails, it's, talk to Mr. Fazio,
So you guys still are not ready?
talk to Mr. Fazio.
Is our team ready?
Our team's been ready. Yeah,
Okay.
we sent over everything over, what, 2 months ago?
Okay,
Well, again, we've offered to swap proposals at this point in time.
Yeah.
Or-
Yeah, probably 2 months ago, we started asking to meet with the teachers.
okay.
So,
That's all for me.
All right, so for me, I have a number of things. So before I get started with the students of the month, I'd just like to report out a couple quick things. First of all, our enrollment currently is at 1,983 students in the district. I believe the high school is now up to 691 for this year. So we are definitely at the high school getting up to a very high number, getting very, very tight in the high school, but obviously we're also getting very tight throughout the district. Which brings me to the very bad news. So we did our bid for the cafeteria at Lafayette. Obviously, we've had internal discussions. We started out at 1.8 million. We then reconfigured and figured with the inflation and everything and the supply chains, we went up to about 2.5 to 2.6 for this project. Unfortunately, the low bid for this project came in at $3.8 million. The second bid was $3.85 million, and then from there it goes into the 4s, 5s, and 6s. So at this point in time, my recommendation to the board is not to move forward with the addition of the cafeteria at Lafayette, because I just don't think we can fund it at this point in time. Again, for those who don't know, the plan was to basically pay cash on this cafeteria addition. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to do that at this time. We don't have the extra $1.2, $1.3 million that this bid came in over at. So we're going to have, I have the projected enrollment numbers here that the state provided us when we went through the application process. We are going to top out in 23-24, which is only 2 years away, at 2,138 students. 200 students above where we're at currently. We get that many students, we're in real trouble. We don't have the space for those students. So again, we're going to have some sort of discussion moving forward about how to do that. Obviously, again, I was at Mrs. Peters, who is a longtime staff member here. She's an art teacher here in the high school. Her mother had passed away, so I was at the funeral today. It's very annoying, so I just want to make sure everybody knows that Catherine Peters is in our thoughts and prayers for this evening. The last item I have is, again, we didn't have any committee meetings, so we haven't had any time to really talk about this, but I want to put this out to the board for consideration as we move forward. We're going to talk about this over the next month or so, is our one pickup truck, the gray pickup truck that we have that's about 10 or 11 years old, starting to fail, transmission issues, air conditioning, heating issues, things like that. It's starting to really cost us some money in terms of trying to keep it on the road. Now may be a good time to replace that before winter season. So I just want to put that out there to you guys for consideration. At this point in time,
Dan,
yes,
are the trucks the ones that they connect plows to?
yes. Yeah, and unfortunately, the pickups, again, we have the F-450s, which are much better for plowing and salting. We're talking the smaller pickups, the 250s. While they're okay for plowing, the transmission just takes a tremendous beating with the stop and go, the forward and back, plus pushing, heavy snow and plows. They take an enormous beating. And with this particular one, the air conditioning and the heat, something's wrong with that. And when the last time we tried to get that fixed, they were talking about a $3,000 bill, so we just said no at that point in time, especially on a 10-year-old, 11-year-old truck.
Sure.
I just don't see pouring that kind of money into that old vehicle, if it's worth it or not. So again, at this point in time, I think we have the funds to buy and pick up, so I'm just kind of putting it out there for you guys to give me a yes or a no. You can do that later, okay? At this time, we will do students of the month. We'll start with Mount Dr. S.
Congratulations to Patience James and Anthony Greco.
Dr. S., I believe you're going to fill in for Mrs. Clark and Lafayette as well.
No, I have her gem.
I'm sorry?
I don't have her certificates for student of the
Oh, you
month.
don't have her?
I'm doing a gem award.
Okay, well then I'll do Lafayette student for the month. First off, we have Nicholas Telza, Tellez. Telez.
And the other student of the month is Sophia Reyes.
Moving on, we will go to Smalley School.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Our first candidate is Marilee Reyes Mejia. Our next recipient is Kiwel Tolentino Jimenez.
Smell good.
Our next candidate is Lester Casadorito. And Andrea Obando Pereira.
And for community middle school, we have Mr. Egan.
Oh, Mr. Egan.
All right, first up, we have Allison Cespedes Sabaha. And second, for seventh grade, we have Lady Miranda Menjivar. I knew you were coming. Really? Good job.
And for Bamberg High School, we have Mr. Smith.
Good evening. It's an honor to present our Crusader Citizens of the Month this evening. Dennis Arias. Next, we have Adele Canales Cardona. Randall Gonzalez Manzanero. And last but certainly not least, Sophia Ugalde.
our GEMS awards for this month. We'll start with Lamont Addicts and Dr. S. We'll also be doing Lafayette's GEM Award.
Congratulations to Ms. Rita, this month's GEM recipient. Ms. Rita's dedication going above and beyond for her students has warmed their hearts. Ms. Rita is dependable and is always willing to help with student arrival, dismissal, bus duty. The students are grateful to have her at their sides to start and end their school day. There is no better place for a school to see in the morning. Parents say they love her energy and her dedication in helping their children. The students adore how she plays with them on the playground, helping them go up and down the slides and monkey bars. Most of all, we love having her be part of our team. Her devotion and passion are inspiring. Once again, thank you and congratulations, Ms. Rita. Lafayette's GEM for the month of November is Maddie Reese. Over the past couple of years, I've had the privilege of watching Ms. Reese not only mature as an educator, but grow into being one of the leaders amongst her grade levels. Ms. Reese has remained positive during stressful situations and consistently advocates for the needs of her students. She makes it a point to come talk to me, often discussing ideas, concerns, and observations. Her willingness to not only lead, but involve others in the conversation plays a major role in building a team-like environment at Lafayette. Ms. Reese, thank you for all you do for Lafayette and our students. We appreciate you.
And for Smalley School, we have Mr. Edwards.
Ms. O'Chasey is one of our arts teachers and special ed teachers at Smalley School. Her passion to support students in the fine arts is magnificent. Her lessons are always sought out, developed, and presented in a manner in which children will have fun, but also learn. Ms. O'Chasey painted one of our murals in the music room and is in the process of working with her students for a huge collage to be displayed in one of our hallways. Ms. O'Chasey goes out of her way to help Smalley School in any way possible, whether it be filling in for a class, helping parents to classrooms for parent-teacher conferences, or to seek professional development, such as getting to know the new visual arts and performing standards. Our students will be painting and writing something kind for our outside classroom section called Kindness Rocks. She has volunteered for Walking School Bus and serves on the outdoor classroom committee, has helped plan for the Smalley Olympics, and as well as Field Day. Smalley School's November Gem of the Month is Miss O'Chasey.
And for community middle school, we have Mr. Deacon.
The community middle school is proud to recognize Catherine Horvath Zabroya as this month's Representative GEM Award recipient. Ms. Zabroya is in her fourth year teaching art at CMS. However, this school year, in addition to her responsibilities as an art teacher, she's on almost daily to fill in as a substitute teacher in practically every academic subject. Although this is not part of Ms. Zabroya's primary job description, her presence in the classroom has been vital to maintaining consistency and continuity of programming when colleagues are absent. As an art teacher, Ms. Zabroya nurtures students' creativity using a variety of media. Ms. Zabroya instills a deep appreciation for art history and supports students' creative endeavors. In the past years, she has served as an advisor to the National Junior Arts Honor Society and has accompanied students to events such as Teen Arts Festival. This year, Ms. Zabroya is also serving as a co-advisor to the CMS Yearbook Committee. On behalf of the community middle school teaching staff, I'd like to thank Catherine Zabroya for her contributions and efforts in making CMS a great place to learn and grow. Ms. Zabroya.
Good evening once again. This year's recipient of the GEM Award, or this month's recipient of the GEM Award, is Miss Lopa. Miss Rita Lopa inspires her students with an enthusiasm for the Spanish language and a love of teaching the content associated with world languages. In addition, Miss Lopa has a sharp and progressive vision of teaching Spanish and of teaching and learning in general by implementing dynamic lessons and driving instruction. Furthermore, Miss Lopa regularly demonstrates her strong, caring self. Her continued efforts for success are evident and extend beyond the realm of the classroom. This is evident through her role as a world language teacher as well as the moderator of the Spanish Club. In addition, Ms. Lopa goes above the average calling, keeping our students safe. Recently, there was an incident in the functional life skills room where Ms. Lopa was able to de-escalate a situation with the student because of the rapport she had built with the student during the summer in the ESY program. Additionally, there was recently another incident in which a student entered Ms. Lopa's class uninvited to confront another student in her room. Not only did Ms. Lopa keep the student safe, but she kept the other student in check until administration arrived to the room. Despite these issues, Ms. Lopa continues to keep a positive attitude and wants to do what's best for our students. She epitomizes a selfless attitude and a natural willingness to be kind and help others. For these reasons, and among others, Ms. Lopa was selected as the GEM for BBHS for the month of November.
And we have Mr. Mormile for the district presentation.
The GEM Award winner for the school district is Ms. Deborah Paulson. Ms. Paulson is the Student Assistance Counselor for the district. She's in her third year here. Ms. Paulson has made a tremendous impact on the social and emotional well-being of our students. She is very knowledgeable on the best ways to help students, and she takes the initiative to suggest, develop, and implement programs that benefit the wellness of students. Here are some of the programs that Ms. Paulson has either led or has helped out with for our students. Red Ribbon Week, which is the largest drug prevention campaign in the United States. This initiative in the district was highlighted by videos read in both English and Spanish to all of our students during morning announcements by our own principals and teachers. The scripts for the videos were prepared by Ms. Paulson. We had 13 principals and teachers read the English language videos, and 12 more teachers and staff members read the same videos in Spanish. Ms. Paulson utilized the district's greatest resource, our teachers, principals, and staff, to deliver the message of drug prevention. In addition, Ms. Paulson has worked to implement other programs such as High Tops and SOS Signs of Suicide for the benefit of the wellness of our students. She was a leader in the implementation of the district's mental health surveys, which started last year for all students in the district and continues this school year. She started the Pride Club at the high school. She brought in an expert in vaping to talk to staff on what vaping is and what it can and what they should look for. And the same vaping expert was at back to school night to talk to our parents. Ms. Paulson also created a vaping bulletin board for students to view. During the pandemic, Ms. Paulson collaborated with her fellow counselors and the school and the social workers to create the district counseling link on the website, which shows resources related to the pandemic. Finally, Ms. Paulson has implemented sexual assault programming into the district for the benefit of our students. Ms. Paulson's programs go way beyond her job description, which, by the way, she assisted me in updating. Also, she is bilingual. She successfully communicates with all of our parents and guardians. She's a great colleague to staff, and she's proven that she has the best students, the best interest of the students at heart. Congratulations, Ms. Paulson.
Andrea? Come on down. Andrea Van de Carrera.
we're gonna take a brief 5-minute recess for those who have little ones who need to go home. We're gonna take a 5-minute recess, and we'll be right back. Thank you. To open for the public for agenda items only. So if there's anybody who has a comment on the agenda item, there are no questions online at this time.
Patricia, we're disappointed in Ms. Rice. No.
Actually, so Mrs. Still contacted that.
Did you?
Yes, it did.
Hello, I hope you're feeling well.
Yes. She was looking well. I will
Was
say
she
that.
good?
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, I didn't have a chance to really have a long conversation with her, but she was looking.
That's good.
So moving on, we're up to 5.1, minutes from 10:25:21. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Motion,
Second.
Mr. Bell, second, Mrs. Morris.
I need
Comments, questions?
I need to think.
I need to abstain. Is there enough vote for this? Because I can't vote.
No,
for
it's-
this.
I wasn't here.
I
As
wasn't
long
here
as there's
either.
enough people here, we just vote.
Okay.
All right, so right now, abstaining is Mr. Badalaire and Mr. Tomasello, correct?
Yes.
Very good. Any other comments, questions?
Can you just check this one on my name? I think we're missing it.
Got it, we'll double check that, make sure we get that fixed. Okay, so Mr. Bale,
Yes.
Ms. Morris,
Yes.
Mr. Zuko,
Yes.
Mr. Judy.
Yes.
All right. Motion is approved. And we are moving on to 6.1, approval of district and high school personnel's. We are resolved, superintendent recommends for approval resolutions as outlined in personnel resolutions of the district and high school, that is 6.2 through 6.16. May I get a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Motion, Mr. Bale, seconded by Mr. Badalaire, discussion.
I just need to abstain from 6.3 and 6.9.
Very good.
I have a couple questions.
Sure.
So on number 6.6, is there any restrictions or safeguards against nepotism or conflict of interest? I think the assistant coaches is head coach.
The only nepotism clauses that we have in the district that I am completely aware of are with the superintendent's position. Otherwise, I don't know off the top of my head of any nepotism clauses or anything like that, revolving around that.
Is it something that we've done in the past?
Yes.
Yes.
For football,
Yeah.
we used to have a father and two sons for football when I was in high school.
I'm sorry, probably waiting for my next question. 610, is that really for a novice teacher and not an experienced teacher?
Correct. So anybody who's new to the district has to have a mentor.
Yeah, it's kind of newish. They used to only do it for new teachers,
Right.
but now if you move districts,
You have to-
it's more like a buddy program with
Right.
a brand new teacher.
It's also
New to the district.
for new teachers that didn't come with an education background.
No, now it doesn't matter.
Oh, it doesn't
If you're
matter.
new to the district, you have to have a mentor for a year,
No matter what.
no matter what.
Okay.
And the only difference is if you're not a new teacher, the district pays. Versus a new teacher pay.
Okay.
Just maybe a point of clarification. So in the subject of 610, it says mentor for experienced teacher. In the body text, it actually has novice teacher as the header, so I just wanted to confirm which state we're in.
For that one, I believe it's a novice teacher. Yeah, 425 is novice teacher.
And my last question is for 612 through 616. Are there any processes or procedures for identifying which staff members attend conferences, and if so, at what volume?
We do everything through an online system, so we keep track of who's asking for conferences, where they're going, things like that. So we do have a mechanism to track those items. And you have to just remember, this is not gonna be an atypical year for conferences, because for a year and a half,
Nobody went anywhere.
nobody went anywhere, so now we're trying to play catch up on all the rules and regulations, the changes and so on. So there's gonna be, you're gonna see a lot more volume in that this year than you have in past years.
Seems fair. Thank you.
Any other questions? Seeing none. Mr. Bale?
Yes.
Ms. Morris?
Yes.
Mr. Tomaselli?
Yes.
Mr. Badalero?
Yes.
Mr. Zupko?
Yes.
And Mr. Judy?
Yes.
Motion carries. And we are down to 7.1. Sorry, we have no internet, so I gotta flip pages and look at the computer at the same time. So, resolved that the superintendent recommends for approval of resolutions as outlined in personnel resolutions under middle and elementary schools, that is 7.2 through 7.9. Can I get a motion?
For 7.3, do we have or can we get any kind of an assessment from the building principal or supervisor for that individual?
Actually, that would have to go through HR, and she does handle those things, so you can get an assessment from her after she has done her exit interview.
Great.
Okay? See, no other questions, Mr. Bell?
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Tomaselli?
Yes.
Mr. Badalero?
Abstain.
Mr. Zupko?
Yes.
And Mr. Janutus?
Yes.
Motion carries. We are now up to section 8. Find it. Resolved that the Maverick Board of Education approves the resolutions as outlined in education resolutions under district of 8.3. May I get a motion?
Motion.
Motion, Ms. Morris, second.
Second.
Second, Mr. Tomaselli, discussion.
Just happy to see the robotics is actually going out again and doing some robotic stuff.
Yes, and I would anticipate some requests for some additional funding for robotics. At this point in time, I know they need a few items. They actually asked to start a district or an outside funding, like a GoFundMe or donate to me type of thing. I'm probably gonna tell them no on that, just because we haven't allowed that. It opens up a little bit of a can of worms. If they need something, they just need to bring it to my attention. We'll figure it out for that.
Will they be working with Ethicon again this year?
It's now Janssen.
Okay.
Yes, they will be working with Janssen again. But we are expanding our robotics program down to 3 through 6 into Smalley as well, so I know we're gonna need some items there, which,
Is that gonna be the Lego League?
yeah.
That's awesome.
So, we'll have to provide a few things for that, so I know that.
Is the science teachers from the middle school, are they still gonna be in charge of it, or are they gonna?
Well, they're gonna be in charge of the middle school
Right.
robotics, but then we're gonna have some different advisors for the lower, upper elementary, I guess it would be.
That's exciting, this is great stuff.
Yeah, and you know what, we've had such tremendous success with our robotics program over the last 17 years I've been here and even beyond
Years
that.
beyond, yes.
So we need to continue everything that we're doing in that realm. And the nice part is, a lot of our minority kids have done really, really well through that, coming through the program, as well as going off to engineering colleges and starting their, engineering and architectural, job for kids. So
how soon,
fantastic.
how soon will we see the lines for the stipends for the people that are gonna be running 3 through 6?
Well, it has to be voluntary by policy for 2 years prior to us adopting that. So yeah, we'll have to get it running for 2 years prior to that.
Okay.
Okay.
The younger program is going to be open to all students in those grades?
3 through 6, correct, Ed? I mean,
It's gonna be 5 and 6
5 and 6.
this year. We have our first meeting with 3 of the students, just to talk about going forward. I already met with Mr. Hutchison, right? Houston. I always call him Hutchison. Houston. We talked about some of the materials that we're gonna use. The students high school students are gonna help out our 5th and 6th grade students, just get a roll on it.
So that was a meeting with the advisors, you mean?
The meeting was just with me and the coach, Matt.
Right.
Yeah.
So my question is really more about the availability to students. So all students in grades 5 and 6, regardless.
It's gonna be open to 5 and 6. We're gonna see how many students want to participate and be part of it, and then we'll break it down either by monthly or weekly. We're gonna see how it is and mix it up the 5th and 6th together, so they can get a better judge on moving forward.
Great, thank you.
Well, the person who's gonna be running your program, will they be going to this with the robotics team?
He already met with Mr. Houston. He is going to try to get there, but we already discussed working together. But he wants to learn and he wants to take it over. So
Yeah. I mean, just a little side tidbit, if anyone's never been to a robotics competition, it is one of the coolest things you'll ever experience. So it's, it's really a fabulous thing to see.
Just one procedural question. So each of the items are noted as having no cost, but that transportation would be provided by the school district. Does that imply that the transportation costs will be covered some other way, or that will be absorbed?
No, we absorb that.
Okay, so there is an incremental cost, there's just not a cost for the program
Yeah.
itself.
Right.
Understood. Thank you.
Any other comments, questions? Seeing none. Mr. Bell?
Yes.
Ms. Morris?
Yes.
Mrs. Thomaselli?
Yes.
Mrs. Badalea?
Yes.
Mr. Zupa?
Yes.
Mr. Januzzi?
Yes.
Motion carries. Moving on. Section 9. Resolve the Falmouth Board of Education approves the resolutions as outlined in educational resolutions of the middle and elementary schools, and that is 9.2. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Motion, Ms. Morris, second.
Second.
Second, Mr. Thomaselli, discussion.
Discuss when it's on page.
Just a general observation within 9.2, there were a few committees that were mentioned. One which is the ECAC and the other is the Bilingual Parents Advisory Committee. I'm just wondering if those are active committees, and if so, who's on them, how often?
They are active, they are definitely active meetings and committees that meet, and Mrs. Fisher oversees that.
Okay. Is there any opportunity for us to see who actually is participating in the committee?
I believe it's open to anybody, any parent or anything in the district. We hold like an open forum type of thing.
Okay.
But actually for the overview.
Right, so the ECIC, there is a team of people. I can forward you the people we have signed in and agendas for all of our meetings. The Bilingual Parent Advisory Committee is open to anybody. And those are just posted meetings, and Kristen Boucher, which is the administrator.
Great.
Again, meeting minutes and agenda.
Gotcha. So I'll follow up with that. And we can talk about it.
Yep.
Thank you.
Any other questions, comments? Seeing none, Mr. Bell?
Yes.
Ms. Morris?
Yes.
Mr. Thomaselli?
Yes.
Mr. Badalea is an abstention. Mr. Zuko?
Yes.
Mr. Janusik?
Yes.
Motion carries. We're on to 10.1. Resolved, the Brattleboro Board of Education approves the resolutions as outlined in policy resolution of the district and high school 10.2 to 10.3. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Motion, Mr. Badaway, second.
Second.
Second, Mr. Zuko. Discussion, questions, comments? Okay, seeing none, Mr. Bell.
Yes.
Ms. Morris.
Yes.
Mr. Tomasello.
Yes.
Mr. Badaway.
Yes.
Mr. Zuko.
Yes.
Mr. Janusik.
Yes.
Motion carries. Moving on to agenda item number, section 11. Resolved that the Brattleboro Board of Education approves the resolutions as outlined in special education resolutions 11.2 through 11.4. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Motion, Mr. Tomasello, second.
Second.
Second, Mr. Bell. Questions, comments, concerns? Seeing none, Mr. Bell.
Yes.
Ms. Morris.
Yes.
Mr. Tomasello.
Yes.
Mr. Badalero.
Abstain.
Mr. Zuko.
Yes.
And Mr. Janusik.
Yes.
Motion carries. We are up to section 12, financial resolutions. Resolved that the Brattleboro Board of Education approves resolutions as outlined in financial resolutions 12.2 through 12.11. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Motion, Mr. Tomasello, second.
Second.
Second, Ms. Morris. Discussion.
I'm gonna abstain. 12.3, 12.9, and 12.10.
Do it one more time. 12.2,
12.3,
12.3,
12.9,
12.9,
and 12.10.
12.10.
Two things, 12.11, that's awesome. That's a great donation from Ashley, thank you. And the Manville bus route, this is what you told us about before.
Yes, the Manville bus route is, we're utilizing our extra bus and our extra bus driver to run a route for the kids that displaced by the flood from Manville.
I knew
It's
you told us
reimbursed.
about it, and I couldn't remember.
Yeah, they're reimbursing us on a monthly basis, so it's a zero cost to the board.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'd just like to thank Ackman for their donation.
It's always a good one to have this time of year, and again, that is kudos to Mrs. Fisher. All of that, make sure, we try to do our best to take care of our families. Okay, see no other questions or comments, Mr. Bell,
Yes.
Ms. Morris,
Yes.
Mr. Tomasello,
Yes.
Mr. Badalero,
Yes.
Mr. Zuko,
Yes.
Mr. Janusik.
Yes.
Motion carries. Is there any new business or other matters to come before the board?
Yes, that's what, no, I don't have anything. You just pointed them,
Well, I pointed out to the audience.
yeah.
All right, so seeing none, we are moving on to open to the public for any items that they wish to discuss with the board. Online, we have none. Do we have any in public?
Oh, come on, someone has to have something, come on.
Okay,
Someone come up and say something.
Seeing none,
Let's get that.
Everyone wants to see Odell fail.
what was that?
Everyone wants to see Odell fail tonight.
I'm assuming so. All right, so there will be no executive session tonight. We are moving on to HIV approval and review of high school cases. Resolved that the Brattleboro Board of Education, Brattleboro Board of Education, approval of resolutions as outlined in the approval of HIV cases under high school, that is 7.2, 7.3. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Motion, Mr. Tomaselli, second.
Second.
Second, Mr. Bell. Discussion? None. Take a roll call vote. Mr. Bell.
Yes.
Ms. Morris.
Yes.
Mr. Tomaselli.
Yes.
Mr. Valerier.
Yes.
Mr. Zuko.
Yes.
And Mr. Janusik.
Yes.
Motion carries. We are up to 18.1. Resolve, the Brattleboro Board of Education approves the resolutions as outlined in approval of HIV cases under middle and elementary school, and that is 8.2 and 8.3. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Motion, Mr. Thomaselli, second.
Second.
Second, Mr. Bell.
I just have one question on this. Was there any repeat offenders in the elementary?
We can't discuss that.
Oh, you can't? No. Okay,
I can follow up with you.
that would be great.
I will follow.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Mr. Bell.
Yes.
Ms. Morris.
Yes.
Mr. Thomaselli.
Yes.
Mrs. Battlefield, abstained.
Yeah, abstain, sorry.
Okay.
I thought you were.
Mr. Zucco.
Yes.
And Mr. Janussi.
Abstain.
Abstained. Motion carries. All right, motion to adjourn. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
First by Mrs. Morris, second by Mr. Bale. All in favor?
Aye.
Everybody have a great night.
But I already enjoy Tom Brady getting destroyed.